Grab it. Medium, stand. Upon Yahweh, turn to face the east. Said the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. You can find it in Matthew chapter 6, verses 8 through 13. Abanawi, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Batazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratazah, Kawak, Hayah, Bashamayim, Natanlanau, Lacham, Ko, Yawam, Basalachlanau, Chabawathnau, Kasalachnau, Chabawathinau, Wala'ah, Tabiyanau, Banasawon, Bo, Hawshanau, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Lakat, Hamalakwa, Waha'al, Watapara, Laulam, Aman.
In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
Amen. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Ahahari, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Azari, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemai, Wa'aratazah, Al-Yathan, Lamawat, Wagod, Al-Yanawam, Shamar, Hannah, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yaishan, Shawamah, Yashal, Yahweh, Shemar, Yahweh, Tazok, Al-Yad, Yam, Yawamam, Ashmash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wa'arak, Layala, Yahweh, Yashmar, Makorai, Yashmar, Atnapashka, Yahweh, Yashmar, Taza'atka, Wabu'atka, Ma'aita, Why? How
In English, I will lift up mine eyes.
To the hills.
From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'Allah. Shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day. Nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out. And thy coming in. From this time forth. And even forevermore.
Prayer for the power in Hebrew. Yahaba Shem Yahushai. Babakashai. Natanlanau. Pakak. La'afa'ah. Call Makala. Walk slightly. We'll call Marawa. Pakak. Latahar. Hamatazari. Pakak. Lahakwin. Hamathi. Pakak. Arakawat. Hatamala. Lagarshan. Bashim Yahushai. Duaraman.
Power in English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Name Yahweh Shai.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
Power to heal all manner of sickness.
Power to heal all manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
Power to cleanse the leper.
Power to cleanse the lepers.
Power to raise the dead.
Power to raise the dead.
Power against unclean spirits.
Power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
Cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Name Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Pray to bless Israel and Hebrew. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Barak Lanaw.
Barak Lanaw.
Wayah Sha'ala.
Wayah Sha'ala.
Wahabayah.
Wahabayah.
Sapari.
Sapari.
Barak.
Barak.
Rafa'ah.
Rafa'ah.
Magun.
Magun.
Hagun.
Magun.
At this time, we can say the name of Allah going once. Everyone repeats that name once. If you're following us on social media, type in the name of Allah in the group chat. We'll send the prayers up with you.
UPK Minnesota.
UPK Minnesota.
Desiree Davis.
Desiree Davis.
All UPK.
All UPK.
All Israel.
All of Israel.
Israelite School UPK.
Israelite School UPK.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
The angels.
Angels.
The generals.
Generals.
The captains.
Captains.
The officers.
Officers.
The troopers.
Troopers.
The students.
Students.
The sisters.
Sisters.
The children.
Children.
All of Israel.
All of Israel.
Sapara.
Sapar.
The Rawlins family.
Rawlins family.
The Daniel family.
Daniel family.
The Slaughter family.
Slaughter family.
The Willis family.
Willis family.
The Wagner family.
Wagner family.
All of Israel.
All of Israel.
The Peterson family.
Peterson family.
And the Patterson family.
Patterson family. Israelite School UPK.
Israelite School UPK.
UPK Minnesota.
UPK Minnesota.
UPK Chicago.
UPK Chicago.
UPK Milwaukee.
UPK Milwaukee.
UPK Reds.
UPK Reds.
Benjamin.
Benjamin.
Jamin.
Jamin.
Rakapai.
Rakapai.
Anali.
Anali.
McIntosh family.
McIntosh family.
Raphael.
Raphael.
All of Israel.
All of Israel.
Bashim Yahweh Shai.
Bashim Yahweh Shai.
Duat Aman.
Duat Aman. In the English, Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai.
Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai.
Bless us in Yahsha'Allah.
Bless us in Yahsha'Allah.
And the school.
In the school.
Bless He'll shield protect.
Bless He'll shield protect.
Loved ones.
Loved ones.
In the name of Yahweh
In the
Shai.
name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Adam Yalakah.
Adam Yalakah.
Alta Kharash.
Alta Karash.
Walta Squat.
Walta Shquat.
Oh. Kayahna.
Kayahana.
Wabika.
Wapika.
Yaham Yuwan.
Yaham Yawan.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Alamaka.
Alamaka.
Yahweh Yamu.
Yahweh Yumba.
Sawad.
Sawad.
Wayata Yatazwa.
Wayatu Tazwa.
Altazwa Panika.
Alta Zapamuka.
Amaru.
Amaru.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakakidam.
Nakakidam.
Magawi.
Magawi.
Wala Yazakar.
Wala Ayasakar.
Samya Shala.
Shamya Sha'ala.
Iwada.
Iwad.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawatazwa.
Nayal Tazwa.
Laba.
Laba.
Yakharwa.
Yakad.
Ayaka.
Ayaka.
Baya.
Barya.
Yakurat.
Yakarat.
Ahali.
Ahoy.
Arwam.
Alwam.
Waya Shemai Alayam.
Wayashma Alayum.
Mawab.
Mawa'ab.
Bagari.
Wagari.
Kabo.
Kabal.
Wamwan.
Wamwan.
Wamla.
Wamalat.
Parashat.
Kalashat.
Namishabi.
Amishab.
Tazawo.
Tazawu.
Gamashawo.
Ram Ashu.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Imam.
Imam.
Aywa.
Haywa.
Zarwa.
Zarwa.
Labani Lawa.
Labani Lawa.
Salah.
Salah.
Aisha Laham.
Aisha Laham.
Kamadi.
Kamadi.
Kasiya Sarah.
Kasiyasara.
Kiyabi.
Kiyabi.
Banakho.
Wanako.
Koyashwan.
Kiyashwan.
Nashamaru.
Nashwab.
Bayanda Arwa.
Bayanda Ar.
Haywa.
Hayawa.
Daman.
Daman.
Ladam.
Latam.
Shatam.
Shatam.
Narayabmau.
Narayamma.
Karab.
Kairab.
Wakizaba.
Wakasa'ab.
Wakizabak.
Kasabak.
Wakidazalmanai.
Kadazol Manai.
Kaona Sakam.
Kwana Shakam.
Asar.
Asho.
Amaru.
Amar.
Nairasha.
Nurisha.
Lanawa.
Nanawa.
Nawa.
Nawa.
Alahai.
Alahai.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Shatam.
Shatam.
Kagoglu.
Gog.
Kagwash.
Kwash.
Lapani Raka.
Panyawaka.
Kaash.
Kaash.
Sabari Yair.
Bari Ayr.
Wakalahab.
Wahala.
Talahat.
Talahat.
Haryam.
Haryam.
Kantar Dapma.
Kandar Dapma.
Basarika.
Basarika.
Wabasa Wabatka.
Basu Patka.
Tablaham.
Talaham.
Mala'a.
Mala'a.
Panyaham.
Panyaham.
Kwalawan.
Palawan.
Wayabakwashwa.
Wayabakwash.
Shamka.
Shubka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yabashwa.
Bash.
Wayabahawa.
Wayabaho.
Adi'ai.
Aja'a.
Wayakapar.
Wayakapal.
Wayabarwa.
Wayabab.
Wayadaiwa.
Wayada'ai.
Kayata.
Kayata.
Shamka.
Shubka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Labarka.
Bat.
Aliwan.
Aliwan.
Al.
Al.
Call.
Call.
Haratazar.
Haratazar. In the English, keep not thy silence.
Keep not thy silence.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy
And
peace.
be not still.
Be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumult.
Thy enemies make a
And
tumult.
they that hate thee
And they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
If they can grab the counsel
against thy people.
against thy people
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
and consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
come
come
and let us take the let us cut them off.
and let us cut them off.
So, yeah. Let us cut them off from being a nation.
Let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Yasha
That the name of Yahshua
may be no more remembered.
may be no more remembered.
They have consulted together with one consent.
They have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
Thou confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom
Tabernacles of Edom
and the Israelites,
and the Ishmaelites,
Moab,
Moab,
the Hagarenes,
the Garites,
Gabal,
Gabal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek.
the Philistines, the habits of Tyre.
The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Ashur also joined with them.
So was also joined with
They
them.
have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Doing to them as unto the Midianites.
Going to them as unto the Midianites,
As the Sisera,
as the sister,
as the Jabin,
as Jabin,
at the brook of
at
Kison,
the brook Kison,
which Paris had endured.
with Paris Serendo,
They became as dung for the earth.
that became his dung for the earth.
Make the nobles like a rib,
Make the nobles like a rib,
and like the Eve.
like Zee,
Yea,
yea,
all the princes as a box,
or the princess of Bab,
and as a moon.
and as the moon,
Who said,
who said,
let's say to ourselves,
let's take to ourselves
the houses of Yahweh in possession.
the house of Yahweh in possession,
On my power,
on my power,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as a stubble before the wind,
as a stubble before the
as
wind,
the fire burneth the wood,
as the fire burneth the wood,
as the flames set the mountains on fire.
as the flames set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest,
So persecute them with thy tempest,
and make them afraid with thy storm.
make them afraid with thy storms,
To the face with shame,
to the face with
that
shame,
they may seek thy
that they
name.
might seek thy name.
O Lord,
O Lord,
let them be confounded in trouble forever.
let them be confounded in trouble forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame and perish,
let them be put to shame and perish,
that men may know that
that
thou,
men may know that thou,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
art the most high over all the earth.
art the most high over all the earth.
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and
and
earth,
all things living.
and all things living.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh
and
Shai,
in Yahweh,
listen to us now,
listen to us now,
right now.
right now.
See, he was a curse,
It is a curse,
punishment, destruction
a punishment,
to
destruction
the heathen
to the heathen
that speak against
that
us,
speak against
like
us,
prophets,
the prophets,
teachers,
teachers,
princes,
princes,
priests,
priests,
Israelite brothers,
Israelite brothers,
in the school.
in the school.
See, he was a curse,
And he was a curse,
punishment, destruction
punishment, and
to
destruction
the heathen,
to the heathen,
and shake
and
loose
shake
the
loose
treasure of the rich of
the
Israel,
treasure of the rich of
that
Israel,
refused to give to the
that
school,
refused to give to the school,
force their riches
was their riches,
into thy sanctuary.
and to thy
See, he
sanctuary.
was a curse,
It is a curse,
punishment, destruction
punishment, and
to
destruction
the Edomites,
to the
and the
Edomites,
nations,
the
and the
nations,
drug
drug
dealers,
dealers,
court systems,
court systems,
prison systems,
prison systems,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
all the governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Amalek synagogues and
Roman
arms,
Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
Pope,
Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
Egyptology,
militia,
militia,
Ku Klux
Ku
Klan,
Klux Klan,
Aryan Nation,
Aryan Nation,
skinheads,
skinheads,
Cosmopolitan,
cosmopolitan,
gay movement,
gay movement,
lesbian,
lesbian
spies,
spies,
works of witchcraft,
works of witchcraft,
that's space
that's
program,
space program,
Army,
Army,
Navy,
Navy,
Air Force,
Air Force,
Marines,
Marines,
Wall Street,
Wall Street,
open up the internet,
open up the internet,
and the airwaves,
and airwaves,
cable access,
cable access
and
channels,
radio channels.
radio channels,
Convict the spirit of any of thy people
convict the spirit of any of thy people
that seek to stop us,
that seek to stop
and
us,
bring swift destruction
and bring swift
to
destruction
all the heathen,
to all the heathen
that stand in the way,
that stand in the way,
or try to stop
try
us,
to stop
from
us,
broadcasting your word,
broadcasting the words
throughout the planet
throughout the
Earth.
planet Earth.
Let loose all the
Let
plagues,
loose all the plagues,
cause them to go to and
cause
fro
them to go to and fro
through the earth and consume
through the
them.
earth and consume them.
Let the plague shake the house of the thief
Let the plague shake the house of the thief
and the murder.
and the murder.
Let Yahweh Shai,
Let Yahweh shot
Michael and Gabriel,
Michael and Gabriel
come down to flying saucers,
down to the flying
punish
saucers,
all the heathen
punish all the
that come
heathens
up against
that
us,
come up against
as we
us
speak thy
as
word.
we speak thy word.
cause to be known by all,
Cause it to be known by all.
that is the angels that
It
have
is
done
the
it.
angels that have done it.
Cause it to spread through the media,
Cause it to be spread through the media,
throughout the whole world,
throughout the whole world.
cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause them to shake at that
In
coming.
the name of Yahweh Shai,
And Yahweh shot.
thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it. Shabia, you seated? Shabion, select.
All right, Shalom Israel. Shalom Yahweh Shalom Shabbat to all the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shamar. Thabah Shem Shai to all the sisters. All right. All right, we are going to get into, as you see on the screen, Ezekiel chapter 22, verses 25 through 31, which is going to be the last 7 verses of this chapter. All right. And let me do something real quick here. And we are in the game. All right, Most High in Christ. All right. As always, we always got to advertise, Commander in Johanna, Black Watch every Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. All right. So, yeah, that's what we are going to do. We are going to get into that, and then we are going to translate into the English. You may begin.
Come. Ezekiel chapter 22, verse 25. Quashar. Dabiaya. Dabiaya. Batwak. Batwaka. Ka'arya. Shawa'ak. Tarak. Napash. Aklah. Hassan. It's like it. Kassan. It's like it. Hassan. We are Korah. Yakwaka. Alamanawati. Harabah.
Good word.
Bafka.
Okay. All right.
Verse 26. Kahanya. Kamsor. Awarathia. Wekhalal. Kodashi. Bayan Kodash. Lachal. La'a. Kabagillah. Wabaria Hatama. Latahawa. La'a. Wabaria Yo. Wabaria. Shabbat Batia. Ha'alamyo. Select. Damn, Select. I don't know why it's so weird right now.
Yeah.
In my head, like I got it.
Yeah.
Ha'alai.
It's a tongue twister. You have to speak in different languages. Shit.
Ha'alayamwa. There we go.
All right. Yeah. That sounds about right. That sounds incorrect.
Man. Ayang Yahom. Ayang Yahom. Wakla. Batukan. Verse 27. Sharia. Waruba. Kazabayim. Tarapia. Tarap. La Shapak Dama. La Ba. Napo. Pashwat. La Main. Patazai. Patazai. It's 28. Manabi Ayaha. Takha. Laham. Tapo. Khaziyam. Shawa. Shawa. Wakusomnium. Laham. Kazab. Amarium. Kahat. Amar. Adanya. Yahweh. Wayahu. La. Dabar. Verse 29. Ain. Haratazah. Ashqua. Ashak. Ashqua. Ashak. Wagazalah. Gazal. Wagazalawa. Gazal. Wainya. Bob Yawan. Hamna. Watha Hagar. Eshakwa. Eshkwa. Bala. Mashpat. Verse 30. Wabukushaw. It's like Wabukushaw. Maham. Ayash. Zadar. It's like a Gadar. It's like Waimad. Babarataza. Lapanya. Batazar. It's like Bai. Arataza. Lavalatia. Shakta. Wala. Matazatia. Verse 31. Washapak. Al-Yaham. Zaimil. Basha. Abarathia. Kalayathim. Darkan. Barasham. Nathathia. Naama. Adanya. Yahweh. So like the end of verse 31.
That was good. See, that was a tongue twister, I see.
There was a couple of them.
Yeah. No, I would say that I want to say the last couple of chapters, man, like some tongue twisters, like even Tarap, was doing a little stuttering and stammering on some of the chapters. So yeah. I mean, y'all both code in the Hebrew, when it comes to the reading. And if he's messing up, you messing up a little bit. Like, hey, I know. Once again, to study the Hebrew it's not it's not super hard, but when we have lost so much of our culture, our tradition, our way of life,
Right.
and getting back to it, it can be difficult. It could be a little difficult, it could be a little challenging, but it's nothing that we can't come up against and
Right.
conquer. That's one thing. So sooner or later you will get it. Like for example, when I first came in, I didn't think I would know anything about Hebrew at all. I never knew that I would be even teaching the Hebrew class until I got the order. I'm like, out of all brothers, like, why me? And they was like, because you know it. You know how to read it, you know how to understand it. But I'm like, I never taught it before. It was like now it's your time to teach it. So, but yeah, honestly, like learning a different language, man, like it's wonderful. Now, also too, like the psychology about learning a new language. What's the word? Like you heard about what happens to your brain cells when you learn a different language. It's a word for it. It's like something happens to your brain when you are learning something new, as far as like a different language than what you have been born to learn or talk into. Like for example, like we know how to speak English in America, but learning a different language that you're not really so familiar with, You know what I mean? It starts to, I want to say, generate new brain cells to learn something new. I believe is how they say it. But I mean, it's beautiful. You know what I mean? It's beautiful. It's wonderful. I think the next one I want to study is Spanish. I took it in high school only for like a year. And after that, I stopped using it. I forget how to say good morning, good night. But I know how to say good morning, good night in Hebrew, though. You feel me? Because I use it every day. So that way I don't forget. All right. Like, come on, how you say good morning in or good night in Hebrew? You know, remember? Tawab layal.
To what?
Tawab, which is good. Layal is night.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then good morning is Tawab bawa kwar.
Wow.
Yeah, bawa kwar.
Wow.
So you know that's just a few examples. You know what I mean? And you can learn more about that during Lashwan Kodash class, which is every Friday,
Right.
language class. But the purpose of that is it takes time. It takes time to get back to what we have lost as far as our tradition, culture, identity. It's going to take some time. You are going to learn the more that you know. You know what I mean? The more that you know and understand, it's going to help you shed off that old person. It's going to help you help others shed off that old man, that old woman, those old ways. Because some people are so stuck in their ways, they think that this is what I was born to do. I was born to be a drug dealer. I was born to, rule all of New York City. I was born to, be on a pole. I was born to, be on drugs and, be in jail and prison and, scheme and rob and all this other stuff. That's not true. The Most High called you to be a prophet and a priest of Him, of the Lord. The Most High did call you to be a daughter of Zion, or a daughter of Israel. All right. So, and that's pretty much what we are going to get into. You got it. Anytime you want to read into the English, right?
Okay. Ezekiel chapter 22, verse 25. There is a conspiracy of her prophets in the midst thereof, like a roaring lion, ravening the prey. They have devoured souls.
Wait, Sly, can you stop right there, Sly? Can you, Babusha, I wasn't here last week. Can you just give a quick recap of last week as far as what y'all went over?
Again. So the main scriptures that were, so we had jumped into kind of a different, at verse 23, it jumps into a different
Metaphor, example, scenario
type thing.
Yeah, okay.
Jumps into a different
place, event,
different thought. Maybe.
Okay.
Good way to put it. But prior to that, again, it was describing how we were sinning against the Most High. Some of the instruments taken up, some of the methodology taken up. And again, what's going to befall us, like Ezekiel, like he keeps on getting these visions about and prophesying to Israel, like if you do this, this is what's going to happen to you. And he's also being shown this is what Israel is doing, and these are the things that's going to happen to them if they don't stop. So now we're kind of jumping into a slightly different thought in verse 23 above. Pretty much from verse 23 to the end of this chapter. But for example, if I could just backtrack for a second.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
So
that's fine.
It was telling us how we were going to be pretty much destroyed, again, keeping these customs, keeping these ways. Starting at verse 18, Son of man, the house of Israel is to me become dross. And then we looked up the definition last week of what the word dross was. That was like the filth. That was like, the leftover, like it was something unclean, it was something dirty. All they are brass and tin and iron and lead in the midst of the furnace. They are even the dross of silver. And like that dross of silver, like if you were to burn any, especially, any metal, if you were to burn any metal, if you were to melt it down, there's going to be like all the impurities that rise at the top. of that molten substance,
kind,
all those impurities.
Yeah.
So again, it's letting us that's what it's comparing us to, all that, metals that are used for holy things, for functional things, for good things, for righteous things.
Right.
But in the midst of, our minds being molded, our customs being changed, us taking moral stances and different sides against the Most High, like, getting melted down and like recreated type shit. It's like, but just that separation between the usable metal, the good pure metal, the good pure substance, and then that dross on top, that slag and all those impurities that rise to the top. They got to get scooped out and tossed away. We don't use that stuff no more. It gets melted down, all the impurities get tossed away. So it's describing us as such. From that point in verse 22. So now in verse 23, or it's like, in verse 23 in chapter 22 starts off with kind of a new thought, just a new course of thoughts, I should say, for Ezekiel, what he's getting hit with next. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, so again, he's getting another vision, he's getting another message.
I see. Okay.
Verse 24, son of man, say unto her, thou art the land that is not cleansed, nor rained upon in the day of indignation. So this is where we had left off last week, and that's going to kind of ramp up into the vision and the message he's getting into this. So all of this is going to be kind of a new analogy, a new metaphor, kind of coming into play. So now verse 25. So I'll just recap on 24. Son of man, say unto her, thou art the land that is not cleansed, nor rained upon in the day of indignation. So now 25. There is a conspiracy of her prophets in the midst thereof, like a roaring lion. So in the midst of that land that is not cleansed, there's a conspiracy of her prophets in the midst thereof, like a roaring lion, ravening the prey. They have devoured souls. They have taken the treasure and precious things. They have made her many widows in the midst thereof. So again, talking about like our destructive ways.
Right. Yeah.
And again, like what we had read in the past couple of chapters too, this is all happening in the sight of our enemies.
Right.
And one thing that we were bringing out last week too, where was it? It's like either the last week or the Sabbath before that, the Sabbath service before that, where again, this is being done in front of our enemies are watching us being destroyed.
I think it's the other week. I think you're right.
Yeah. They were watching us.
Yeah.
They are right there.
Yeah.
It's all of our shortcomings are all over YouTube.
Right.
All of our discrepancies are all over Facebook.
Right.
And social media and TikTok. They're making TikToks of us, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they got all of our shortcomings online, documented.
Right.
And not just for social media, but like in the records, in the archives.
Right.
They got everything documented. This is all happening in the face of our enemies.
Right.
And it's not just Esau. We're talking Moab. We're talking Ammon. We're talking Ishmael. We're talking Elam. We're talking all of these different nations that are confederate against it. We just read that in the prayers in was it 83, Psalms 83?
Right. That's right. Yeah.
They are confederate against thee.
Right.
They are watching us very closely. That's why they're so easily to make money off us, appropriating our culture.
That's right.
That's why you got Elamites rapping.
Yeah.
They don't do hip hop. East Indians, they don't do hip hop. Subway, they're not sitting there busting out a freestyle in the Subway.
Right.
And 7-Eleven, they don't care about that shit unless it makes some money.
It's like if I may, remember a while ago, I showed you that it was like a dark-skinned East Indian, right? And he was rapping. He was like, "I'm a black nigger." Remember
Nipsey
that?
Hussle?
Huh?
Nipsey Hussle?
No. He's Ethiopian. He's not.
All right, so I thought he was Elam.
No.
He's Ethiopian.
Yeah.
That's Kush for you.
Yeah, that's Kush. Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, that's Kush. I'll show you a little bit later if hopefully I don't forget. But he had a song where he had a little catchy beat and stuff like that, and you hear the song, it's playing. He's saying a few things. He says some. You don't understand what he's saying until he says, I'm a black
Yeah,
nigger.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I seen that one with you.
Yeah, it's like
kinda
I'm a black
kinda,
nigger. I'm like,
Yep.
whoa. I said,
Yep.
what? And the guy who's duetting the TikTok, he's like, I know you're effing lying. Now I know this is not real. And I'm just like, they mock us.
Yep.
They really mock us. But also too, there was something that you said because okay, yeah, our enemies definitely watch us fall, but they put things in place. You know what I mean? They put things in place for us to fall, and they step back and just watch all the destruction happen.
Right.
Now, this is how we get our enemies back. When we decide to really serve the Lord and separate our spirit out of this place called America,
Right.
I ain't saying you got to go back to Israel because you shouldn't. Because if you try to go back to your own homeland, just know it's not your homeland.
Right.
That's right.
You know what I mean? You will be oppressed there by our enemies that live and invaded our land. Now, what we can do is serve the Most High.
That's right.
Right.
And that is to fully, how can I say it? You want to serve the Most High with all your mind, heart, soul, body, everything. You want to give the Most High 100% you. All right? You want to be in complete obedience. You want to be diligent. You want to be disciplined. All the things that the Lord gives us as a people, that's what you want to take. Everything that he says, even if it don't make sense, do it. If the Lord told you to spin on your goddamn head, spin on your goddamn head.
Right.
Follow the goddamn orders.
Right.
All right? Because you selling those drugs is going to lead you to death or imprisonment, which is still hell. Either way. But this is how you get back at your enemies. Serve the Most High and watch how the Most High ride, like he builds you up in righteousness. He shows his power through you.
Right.
And you will be untouchable to your enemies. You know what I mean? Your enemies can't see you as a target. All right? So like the sister said, so like the crate challenge. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was stupid.
Yeah, stupid, man.
That was really stupid. Like niggas in the hood just grab crates and they just start, doing a crate challenge, like in the middle of the hood, and it just goes viral. Meanwhile, in the UPK, we use crates for our podiums to speak the truth.
Right.
You know what I mean? Meanwhile, you don't see nobody in UPK doing a crate challenge. Now, it's stupid, it's funny, but it's just, niggas is dying out here.
Right.
And we worry about crate challenges and that mannequin challenge, all these stupid things that have been trending. I've seen a lot of trends, especially on TikTok, that is beyond me. I think the worst one was where you light yourself on fire and you have somebody take the fire out on your body. It's very stupid. Another one was a hot water challenge. You get boiling hot water, you throw it in the air, you let it touch you and try to run through it. People have been hospitalized or end up dead, children. And it's so bad, even the heathens start following it. Do you know how much power we have as Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians? If we set the trend that it's a great, glorious thing to serve the Most High, even they would try to do it.
Right.
Have you not heard of the Jewish? The Jewish try to take your culture and make it to their own, and still they don't get the spirit of the Most High because the Most High don't deal with them. Meanwhile, he deals with us. We are the chosen people, but we are looking like our enemies. Our enemies should glorify and bow down to us, not the other way around. You want to say something real quick?
Yeah, something in the Old Testament when he started acting like the children of Israel and the Most High killed them all.
I mean, that's many occasions. You just have to show me. The Most High didn't kill a lot of us.
No, I'm talking about other nations. He tried to act like us in the scripture. I don't know where it's at, and the Most High killed them.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Oh yeah. That was a great story too. What book was that?
All right. So back in Samuel's the Chronicles. I think it was when those was it not the Sumerians but when there was a heathen nation living in our land, getting murked by all the lions and the bears and all that, and then they brought in the priests to try to teach them how to live properly in the land.
I mean, yeah, damn, I haven't heard that in a long time. Yeah, good night. You know what?
That's what you was talking about, right?
Yeah, I think
Come
that
on.
is right.
Come on, that's what you was talking about, right?
Oh, Slovakia, my mind went off.
I know sweat. So like when they had the heathens living in our land and they were getting killed by like lions and bears and all that, and then they brought in the priests of Israel to teach them how to live properly on the land.
No, I don't remember clear. All I remember is that you start trying to act like the children had their clothes and the fringes, and the Most High God is killed them all. I don't know whether that's in the Old Testament.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Because in the other time, it was us trying to be like them. So yeah, I think that's the story that you're talking about. But that is a good point. But long story short, we do set the trend.
Yeah.
Right.
But it should be the right trend. It shouldn't be we can dance all day and really all gay, because all these dances right now are just gay as hell. And you know it's crazy. All the dances that these men or these young boys are doing, young boys and men are doing right now is for females. You know what I mean? These dances fit females.
Right.
You feel me? Not men. Like in the UPK, these brothers can dance. You know what I mean? I seen dancing one time too. You feel me? Like, you know, he said one time. Nah, I caught you a few times dancing. You know what I mean? If you got to play the food, some banging, busting food, this man would dance. You feel me? It's funny. I laugh every time.
Oh.
But I think we all dance when we, you got your food coming out the oven. You got a nice little plate of your favorite food.
Oh yeah, no, that yeah.
Yeah, you feel me? Like yeah, you get the dancing. You know what I mean? I think that's an Israelite thing. You feel me? But you know what I mean? But as far as people in the world, they just look just homosexual, just very gay. I mean, I've only seen a few men that can act, who are professional people, who actually can masculinely, like, just have masculinity in their dancing. Otherwise, everybody else just good night. You know what I mean? Moving like a woman, talking like a woman. You know what I mean? Or also too these heathens. Good night. Incorporating the heathen cultures and like in the Bible, it talks about how we were musically talented.
Right.
You know what I mean? How Benjamites used to go out and party. You know what I mean? Hey, Benjamites know how to get down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you that. Benjamites know how to dance. They know how to have a good time. Judites too. You know what I mean? But of course, the influence of all these heathens and stuff like that is just gonna have you looking crazy out here. So be wise and be careful. You know what I mean? Because that little move you're doing might have a little demon on you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But anyway, you want to say something about anything, Salaki?
Salaki, no.
Okay, you lost your point?
Yeah, it was
My bad.
It's okay.
Okay, now you got it.
Verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
Her priests have violated my law and have profaned mine holy things. They have put no difference between the holy and the profane. Between the holy and profane. Neither have they showed difference between the unclean and the clean. And have hid. And have hid their eyes from my Sabbaths, and I am profaned among them.
Wait a minute. Which verse is that?
26.
26. Okay, so now when it says her priest, who is the her in this conversation?
Israel,
yeah. You know what I mean? Because you know the scripture how it says that we are the bride to the Most High. You know what I mean? It's using that metaphor to say that we belong to the Most High. Now to her, because you may see her as far as like Babylon, other captivities, but the her is talking about Israel in this sense. So her priests have violated my law. How do you violate a law? Just think about America right now. How do you violate a law?
Break the commandments?
No. Just like, I'll just give it to you simple.
Rob, stick up somebody.
Say it again.
Or rob or stick up somebody, sell drugs.
What if you break the terms of your probation? What is that called?
Breaking the law.
No. Probation. Probation in America, right? When you go against your probation, they call it what probation? It's called violation of probation. You know what I mean? Violation, it means something that you did that you was not supposed to do concerning, the terms and agreements of so on and so forth. So if you violate your probation, you have broken it. You know what I mean? You have made it, what's the word? Profane? Profane. You know what I mean? You have made it profane, meaning, you have did something abominable. All right? Hence on the word abominations. Okay. Now, what does the law say about homosexuality?
This is legal in this country.
No. What does the Bible say about homosexuality, the law?
It's abomination to the Lord. It's unlawful.
Right. It's unlawful. Now, how do you violate that law of homosexuality?
By being a homosexual, doing homosexual stuff.
And that's it. You know what I mean? That's it. You violate it by just not giving an F,
right? And
you decide to partake in it. You become a part of the LGBT, ABCZ, I don't know, community, right? You know what I mean? You become a part of that, and you have, violated the law. And the Most High did say in Romans, the first chapter, verses 26 through 28, that he will give you up to vile affections.
Right.
Now, what is the consequence of being a homosexual?
AIDS.
Keep going.
Monkeypox.
Okay, keep going. Keep going. What's that one that they called the gay disease back in the 80s?
Back in the 80s.
Yeah. You say the first one you say AIDS, right?
Yeah.
But AIDS and what else? Like what else match AIDS?
HIV.
You know what I mean? And that's called a blood disease, by the way.
Right.
And in the Bible, when it talks about homosexuality, right? It says that you will have a blood disease. You know what I mean? HIV is through the blood.
Con.
You know what I mean? Some people were so affected with HIV, if they had an open sore and you touched them, you contracted HIV.
Con.
Now, as you know, monkeypox is the new gay disease.
Yeah.
If you touch somebody or you're around somebody who has monkeypox, you can have it as well. So be careful. You know what I mean? Monkeypox is the new COVID plague. It's damn near airborne. So be careful. Go ahead.
That disease is really ugly. God's nose completely rotted off.
I seen that. Oh my! Did you see that? Oh my goodness! It was this guy.
Eat bite.
Yeah. It was this devil, and he had monkeypox. It was so bad that his nose was rotting. It was just stripping off. It was like fungus,
right? Like
mold looking.
Right.
And I said, "Good night." It was terrible. It was like mold or I don't know, mold and fungus. It was just like, good night. Anyway, moving on.
Right.
But you get the point. You get the point. That's violating, the Lord's law, right? And have profaned my holy things. And there we go, the word profane. You know what I mean? The holy things. The things that are holy, we had decided to put our own spin on it. You know what I mean? We decided to not do what the Lord told us to do. Like how can I say it? Imagine you having a feast. The next feast is what? Next feast is probably the Feast of Dedication, because Memorial blowing the trumpets is not a feast. It's
gonna eat them.
Memorial. Yeah. So imagine you bringing pork chops, ham, chitlins, just all the unlawful things to one of the Lord's feasts. That's profaning his holy things. You know what I mean? You rocking the shield, but you not rocking it in honor of, the history with King David. You know what I mean? Our history with this signature,
right?
This stamp. You're rocking it because you want to be a gangster disciple. Like, good night. I have people ask me all the time. I see all those stars on your shirt and on your clothes, because I rock UPK wherever I go, even at work.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now I don't wear the headpiece and my fringes necessarily, but I wear the shirts because all I got is UK clothes.
That's right.
But anyway, I have people ask you all the time, like, you know, are you in a gang? Hell no. You know what I mean? I have to correct them and tell them what it really is. Go ahead.
That's their cause. You believe on that homosexuality shit too, the GDs.
GDs, kind, yeah, kind.
That's their law.
Yeah. All the gangs, all the, you know, sororities, fraternities, all of it, all of it. You know what I mean? All of that, they have ties to, you know, the LGBT, whoever community. But anyway, let's keep going on that.
Verse 27. Her princes in the midst thereof are like wolves, ravening the prey, to shed blood, and to destroy souls, to get dishonest gain.
And it's you know, that scripture is very important because this was mentioned previously in this chapter, as far as how there will be people in Israel who will tell lies to get gain. Who is that today? Go ahead.
Our leaders and stuff, El Shab and all them characters and them false priests and false prophets.
Right. And we know that they false because how does the Lord deal with them? By death, by punishment. You had Creflo Dollar, who said, burn, I mean, anything that I said before, burn it all. Burn all the tapes, burn all the video footage, and things of that sort, because they have been exposed to a point where people are finally realizing. And then you got a pastor in Kansas City. I'm sure everybody saw this on Facebook. That pastor in Kansas City, it's a video of him, you know, preaching about how, you know, y'all broke, y'all can't give me enough to go get my what is it? It was like a car, jet, something. Y'all didn't see that video? A man in Kansas City pastor going off on a congregation.
So who was it? The butterball looking nigga. Was that Creflo Dollar? Might have been TDJ. So he was talking to somebody like how he needed a jet.
Right. Yeah. It was him. A $6.4 million jet.
Right.
Yeah. I'm finna show y'all this video. I'm gonna play it on here because this is the issue. All right. I'm gonna play this video because I think this is the one. Maybe. Who? Let me see. You want to say something, Warrior?
No, sorry.
Oh, okay. Here we go. I got it. This is it.
See, that's how I know.
So, y'all gonna have to, bear with me on this one right here, right? Let me show y'all this video and show you how your pastors, how your politicians, all these people that say that they love you and care for you, this is how they think about you. Give me 1 second here. Let me show y'all this. Show you how disgusting this is.
Oh, you still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted because of how you've been honoring me. I'm not worth your McDonald's money. I'm not worth your Red Lobster money.
Good night.
I ain't worth your St. John Inn. Y'all can't afford it no how. I ain't worth y'all Louis Vuitton. I ain't worth your Prada. I'm not worth your Gucci. Mother, I'm saying this, and I promise you, Deacon, it's not with respect to want. I'm saying it because I want you to understand just what God is saying. Even found out that Movado, you can buy a Movado watch in Sam's. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And y'all know I asked for one last year. Here it is the whole way in August. I still ain't got it. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Let me kick down the door and talk to my cheap sons and daughters.
Good night.
Movado watch.
A watch. I hope everybody heard that. All right. Let me see something. Yeah, I hope everybody heard that. Yeah, like good night. A watch. And those watches are very, very expensive. You know what I mean? I think those watches go between $80K and up. You feel me? You know what I mean? Like this pastor is so upset and mad to the point where he's calling his congregation broke and poor. And then you got these silly ass women who's like, yes,
Right.
yes, pastor. Tell him. And then he's trying to get into the pockets of the children. He said that you should knock down the doors of your broke sons and daughters. This is a place where we are living in, man. Right now, we live in 2022, this year, right? Technically, based on America's, calendar, right? Because all we know, it could be the year 3000. You never know. Because I've heard some things about that too. But the thing is, these pastors have been showing you who they are, showing you how slimy and greedy and disgusting that they are. Meanwhile, we still get deceived and we are gullible to everything that they say. The ISUPK is not going to tell you what you want to feel, you know what I mean? Or make you comfortable. We are going to make you uncomfortable.
Right.
That's right.
We are going to make you feel shame, feel accountability, push you to strive for discipline
Right.
and wisdom. Because honestly, in a Christian church, their way of thinking to serve God is too easy. In the UPK, you got to strive to serve the Most High.
That's right.
And the Most High don't deal with everybody.
That's right.
You have to deal with the Most High in order for Him to deal with you. You have to put in the work.
Right.
Not the other way around. In a Christian church, they believe that God works for you. What the hell what are you talking about? You work for the Most High. That's why, it's lucky. That's why He gives you laws. He gives you statutes and commandments. You don't order the Most High. He orders you. He's the Father. You are the child.
That's right.
And you have to think like that all the time, because that's what it is. You know what I mean? That's what it is. And the Christian church is the reason why we die.
That's right.
It's the reason why we profane our holy things. We violate the law of the Most High. Keep going, if you could.
Verse 28. And their prophets have daubed in them with untempered mortar.
Mm-hmm.
And her prophets have daubed them with untempered mortar, seeing vanity and divining lies unto them, saying, Thus saith the Lord God, when the Lord hath not spoken.
Once again, see, I didn't even read that part, and that's on topic.
Right.
That shows you where we are going with this chapter, with these verses. You are being lied to, and they say, Thus saith the Lord. That pastor is like, the reason why I didn't get my jet, my watch, and my mini mansion and mega church is because God said, you give me enough money. Thus saith the Lord. That is disgusting. In the UPK, we don't talk about money unless we're talking about tithes. Because tithes is a law. We are going to give you what it says in the Bible, which is 10%.
That's right.
Now, there's a situation in case where you may have to pay 15% if you do not pay your 10% when you get your earnings. You just pay 15% next time.
Right.
If you know that you got bills and you need every single solitary penny, dollar, right, to pay those bills off with that check, and you cannot pay your tithes, no sweat. Pay 50% next time you get paid. That's how it goes. And it gets more in depth than that. That's just one example. But that's how it goes. If you want to know more about tithes, you know what I mean, make sure that you call your camp leader, call the men in your city to, learn more in depth about it. Otherwise, this class is all over.
Right.
Okay? About that. All right, anyway, keep going unless you want to say something.
was gonna say, on top of all the documentaries and exposés of fake preachers, what was the name? T.D. Jakes.
Yeah.
Just came out and said, "I'm sorry, I lied."
Yeah. Or Creflo.
Was that Creflo?
Yeah. No, it was Creflo.
Creflo.
He said burn all the tapes. Yeah.
Took it all back.
Yeah.
After he made millions off of us.
Millions.
People that believed in him. People that were looking to him for answers, and for truth, and for comfort, and for stability, and for counsel, and for guidance.
Yeah.
People that trusted him. Lied straight to their face.
Yeah.
And just like Martin Luther King, at the very end, right before it all collapsed on him, he admitted.
He realized
it hit him.
Yeah.
He saw the difference.
Yeah.
I think he saw it the entire time while he was in them hotels with them whores.
Yeah.
With the meet of my whores and all that homosexuality running around him.
Yeah.
Like he knew that he was doing wrong.
Right.
But he was enjoying the perks of it.
Yeah.
So that's why, like in verse 27, her princes in the midst thereof are like wolves ravening the prey. So all them brothers that are out there that are capitalizing off our people suffering in our neighborhoods, in our churches, on our block, in our communities, in our city councils, and like, your aldermans, and even the brothers that join the police forces too, things like that. In the military, in a position of power, like where they have more resources to take advantage of us with, and they have a better opportunity to prey on us.
If I may, before you continue, right? Because I know you about to say something great, like next.
I will see.
No, I know you are, because I know where you're going with this. The spirit that's on Black and Hispanic men and women that join Esau's military, police force, academies, all that stuff, deep down inside, maybe not right away, but sooner or later they show hatred for their own people.
Right.
Understand this. Never trust a Black, Hispanic, or Native American man, woman, or child who decides to sleep with someone who is not of their own people. You feel me? Because the spirit on them is disgusting. And even sometimes they don't even know that it's disgusting. You know what I mean? My thing is, the excuse that I hate the most when I hear Black men say why they're with white women is, I think me and Rob were just talking about this. Oh, these sisters, they I can't deal with them. They don't build you up. They break you down and all this other garbage. Like, look, man, they're in hell just like you're in hell.
That's right.
You feel me?
Right.
They're in hell. And you know what? Some Black women that choose these white men, they think the same thing. You know what I mean? But there's more psychology behind all that.
Right.
More reasons behind that. But the fact of the matter is just hatred. You know what I mean? When a Black, Hispanic, Native American man or woman decide to sleep with somebody that is of their own, a different nation, it's just hatred.
Right.
It's self-hatred for themselves and to that other person that looks just like them. Because at the end of the day, Black and Hispanic, Native American men and women are both going through hell.
That's right.
I saw somebody online try to say women are more oppressed than men are. That's not true. That sure damn ain't true. Go ahead.
I heard that in slavery said that our woman had it more harder than we did. Because he was raped all the time.
See, now that's just one person saying that though, right? You realize that, right?
Yeah.
But what does the stats say? As a nation, we are going through the same thing. We are all suffering.
Damn right.
Ain't nobody suffering individually.
Right.
I understand that part.
Right.
It's niggas, spicks and wetbacks. We are all suffering. Go ahead.
Yeah, the same said them devils breaking the book. I ain't know what breaking the book was, but
I know.
He was raping us too.
Right. Yeah, kind of all that.
All that.
Yeah, all
Bad
that.
shit.
Right. So police brutality, all of it. You feel me? And that's the point of what Among Bar was pretty much, finna say. Or so like he did say, I just want to add that part. There's a spirit behind our people when we decide to join our oppressor. Y'all excuse me, it's like I'm still feeling sick. My voice killing me, shit's a lot. Go ahead though.
And just again to the point. This is talking about black on black crime, brown on brown crime,
Yeah.
So-called red on red crime,
Right.
if you will. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians,
Right.
Fighting against each other, taking advantage of each other.
Exactly.
Because they don't care if we destroy each other.
Right.
They don't care at all about that. As long as we keep that contained here. They'll talk about the statutes to vilify us and to criminalize us on the media outlets, so that everybody else is weary of us and distrusting and offensive and prejudiced and biased and bigotry against us. They use that as a tactic when they set everything up for us to be like this. We learned this from them. We got pushed into a corner. So now we so easily treat each other like garbage.
And don't know
so
it.
quick.
And don't know it. I mean, like some of us realize it. So like, not to cut you off. Some of us realize it, but then there's a lot of us that don't realize it. Nobody thinks about the destruction of you thinking about having somebody else's woman, and you having this wicked imagination on sleeping with this woman that belongs to somebody else. My thing is, why would you want to deal with a woman who has had all manner of nastiness done to her in that bedroom?
Right.
You feel me? No, I'm talking about righteous nastiness, but you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like people have to have a conscience. A lot of people don't have a conscience. They don't think like that. You know what I mean? Like when you have some discretion, some morals about yourself, you step away from situations. You fight against that. You are disgusted and you despise many things that are looked at as okay or normal. You know what I mean? There's a sister on social media on TikTok that I see all the time, and she just glorifies how she's not a role model, how she's a hoe, or so like how she's a whore, right? And how she has different baby fathers, and how she's dirty.
Right.
And people be in our comments like, "Oh, I look up to you. You are so funny." The whole time she's being herself, being disgusting, and not trying to be funny. And people look up as if she's a comedian. You know what? She reminds me of Tiffany Haddish, because I'm not sure. I believe she's an African. Tiffany Haddish. I keep hearing this. Yeah, I keep hearing that she is, but I still got to do some research, right? But either way, no matter what she is, that sister that's on TikTok, I forget her damn name. I think her name's Erica. That sister reminds me of Tiffany Haddish because she is just bold and what's the word, vulgar? You know what I mean?
Profane.
Like, profane. She's very much out there, and she has no shame. Shame is a good thing,
Right?
If you think about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, don't worry about the feeling. You know what I mean? Shame is not supposed to feel good.
That's right.
It's supposed to humble your ass
That's
and teach you a lesson and teach you what you should do and should not do, how to be and how not to be. Now, people do trip up a little bit. They do slip and slide. They fall on their ass, fall on their face. But once you realize that you made a mistake, own up to it and move forward. That's all you can do. And just don't go back to that place that brought you that shame in the first place. Go ahead.
It's like, if I could add on to that, like you're saying with that, you said that's an African, though?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of people, a lot of brothers and sisters are saying that's African.
So there's this show.
I wouldn't be surprised.
There's a show. I can't remember what network it's on, but
It's called what?
Reservation Dogs.
Oh yeah. It's on Hulu.
So now I had seen a couple.
FX. I heard it's pretty good.
Now I'd seen a couple snippets of it. I'd seen a couple little short scenes of it.
Yeah.
And like some of the stuff was very fun.
Yeah.
Very humorous.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of gay jokes.
Mm.
A lot of gay jokes. You know, between men. And it's again, like Adam was saying, shame is good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is promoting effeminizing men. This is promoting gay humor.
Yeah.
Amongst what otherwise would be straight crowds.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, brothers and sisters that otherwise would be, you know, growing up in the right course of action,
right,
but are being influenced because of this, you know, liberal and, you know, everybody love everybody society.
Yeah.
So that's acceptable. And they don't, of course, they don't see the damage that it's going to cause in the future, like right. in the present and in the future.
Right.
With that allowance.
Mm-hmm.
But it's even some of the other brothers that I've met up on the res. Again, their humor is questionable.
Yeah,
you know, influenced.
Right.
Influenced in a very detrimental direction
mm-hmm.
for the people that's up there.
Right. Yeah.
And it's, you know, after you had lived so long under an influence,
right?
Again, like how do you combat it? How do you work against it?
Right.
So like we get the confusion, but again, like again, the scriptures were saying these wolves ravening the prey,
mm-hmm.
to shed blood,
mm-hmm.
and you know that includes not only violence against one another, and
right.
like it also says, and to destroy souls, violence against one another, but manipulation, the STDs that again are bloodborne diseases,
right?
HIV and AIDS.
Mm-hmm.
And to destroy souls. I mean, breaking down somebody. Again, nobody was born gay. Right. Nobody was born gay.
And sister, if I may, like sister said, very sexual. It's disgusting to be around.
Yeah, very. It gets uncomfortable.
Yeah,
it gets uncomfortable. I've been around some.
I didn't get his statement.
Oh yes, the sister said very sexual. It's disgusting to be around.
Yeah, like the jokes, the humor up there, like how they kind of joke around one another. It gets weird, man.
Yeah,
and we talking grown men.
Yeah,
grown men. Not so much the women, from what I've seen, and the sister can correct me on that too. She got a different experience from it,
mm-hmm.
but it's mainly been from some of the men up there.
Right.
And again, I see the stuff online too, so it's not just what I've seen on the res up there too, but also online on TikTok, on the social media, different outlets. The humor that they choose,
mm-hmm.
it's very effeminate, and
it definitely comes from our oppressor.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you know our oppressor, he sexualizes everything.
And they got, you know, elder men joking around this with younger men.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And that's going to keep on going down. The age group is going to keep on getting younger and younger and younger to where they're going to get assimilated to that. So now when it ends up to get dishonest gain, I mean, they capitalizing off us dishonestly. It's not they're not doing like straight up and down commerce or nothing like that. It's
right.
they're not giving us the truth. And
right.
So like in this school, in this body, in the UPK, mm-hmm. we pay our tithes.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
We kick in donations.
Right. That's right.
This school should have billions of dollars
right.
in the treasury, in the resources.
Right.
Unfortunately, we don't. I mean, we a bunch of broke niggas as spics too.
Right.
But it should have billions of dollars in there. And that's honest gain because of the work that we produce outside of this. Mm-hmm. In these classes, on these streets, with the food drives, with the clothing drives, with the camps, with the GD programs, with the expungement events, this, that, and the third. These are honest gains.
Right.
That's right.
And for a lot of that, so like we don't charge nobody for it. So for some of the things, it needed monetary backing. So like for the expungement event, we needed to get certain things financially clear because it costs to get records, it costs to pull down records, things like that, to get notarized. That's something completely different though. But the service is pretty much free after that. Again, the food drives, the clothing drives, like everything else. So we don't charge the people for the cookouts. For the Midwest Fire Weekend, we didn't charge nobody to come in, Salaki. We didn't charge nobody to come in for that. Some of us had to pay out of pocket. Some of us, we pulled the funds that we had from our schools, from our regions. That's why we always say, if you get the Cash App, $ all caps UPK Minnesota.
Right.
We tap into those funds to feed the community, to feed these events, to fuel this nation. They do the same thing in Texas. They do the same thing in Milwaukee, in Chicago, in Michigan, in Canada, this, that, and the third, everywhere else.
Right.
Those are honest gains.
That's right.
We're not praying. We're not wolves ravening on the prey.
Right. That's right.
We fishers of men.
That's right.
We're trying to bring everybody home before they get preyed upon.
Right.
So that they ain't got to be victims of this.
It's Salaki, the sister said, Salaki Adawan, but now the sisters can be just as bad, if not worse, at times. There are couples that are out in the open that they are with their cousin.
All right. So now, biblically,
you got it?
Yeah. All right.
You got it.
Biblically, that is not unlawful. But again, our nation is big enough to where you ain't got to go mess up the family reunion. We ain't that close. Where our numbers ain't so little that we got to be that close with each other. Biblically, that's not wrong. There's no law against it. Just it makes people feel weird. At the family cookout.
Right. It's not Sweet Home Alabama.
Right. So things get a little awkward.
Right.
Yeah. But
it's if I may, it's like in reality, we are distant family members.
Right.
If you're doing it and that's reality. You know what I mean? Anybody that you are married to, or your parents, understand this. We are distant family members.
Right.
I'll give you a clear example. Right. Jacob, who is our progenitor, our father. That man Laban, that was his uncle. And his daughters, who was that? His cousins. His cousins. Rachel and Leah, that was his cousins. You know what I mean? So this, in actuality, we are distant family members. All right? We are family, literally. But we ain't mother and son. No weird, ish like that.
Right.
It's just, cousins. You know what I mean? So yeah, because a lot of people talk about the whole Adam and Eve thing. They think that the kids were, having sex with each other and procreating. No, if that was the case, when it's too close, you have Down syndrome, you have birth defects. Stuff like that. You have what you see. What's that movie? The Wrong Turn. All those Down syndrome or like deformed white kids.
I think I know what you're talking about.
They were kind of like in the woods and hidden from the cities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? The Wrong Turn.
I don't know if I know the title of that movie. I don't know if I've seen it, but
yeah, kind of. Yeah. So we are distant family members. You feel me? But that part is lawful, but a lot of people may feel weird about it. You know what I mean? So yeah, but
and we ain't got to do that as a nation anymore. Again, like we're big enough, we're spread across enough. Right. We ain't gotta go that route.
Right.
And I would say it. So in America would have us look down on things like that when they are good night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that.
Okay. Con.
When they are having sex with their children,
Yeah.
they're having sex with their siblings.
That is, however, unlawful.
Yeah, and
Right.
they throw it under the tarp, but and we're talking prominent families too. This isn't just your Hobunk, Wrong Turn, Appalachian Mountain, breeding grounds. Like you're talking prominent families,
Right.
prestige out there
Right.
that are committing these same abominations that they would try to have us look down on, but just again the hypocrisy, dishonest gains. They're gonna talk about it, but certainly don't practice what they preach.
That's right.
But again, don't go messing up the family reunion.
Yeah.
There's somebody out there on Tinder for you. I'm sure you can find.
Right. I just found out that Facebook got a whole dating app too. Shit. Good night. So yeah. But otherwise, go outside.
Yeah.
And meet somebody at the bus stop, at the car wash, grocery store, or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
But also too, everything that we are saying is in the Bible. I want to say a lot of the stuff that we just said is Genesis through Deuteronomy or Leviticus. So the first 5 books, a lot of stuff that we are speaking about, you can actually see and study for yourself. But moving on, for time's sake.
Verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
And their prophets have daubed them with untempered mortar, seeing vanity and divining lies unto them, saying, Thus saith the Lord God, when the Lord hath not spoken.
Right.
Verse 29. The people of the land have used oppression and exercised robbery, and have vexed the poor and needy. Yea, they have oppressed the stranger wrongfully. So again, going back, it's like
you gotta go ahead.
Again, going back to what we were just saying. So now you got people out there that'll tell you the Spirit moved me.
Yeah, sis said the water. She said, so like I understand, we are a distant family. The water for breaking that down out of one.
You got it. You're the boss. But you got the same jargon that again Christians will give you. God knows my heart. That the Spirit moved me. God spoke to me. You gotta have a pure heart to hear the word of the Most High Power Yah.
I've been hearing Jah too lately.
Jah now? Now it's Jah?
Yeah, I've been hearing Jah. Yeah, Jah.
Okay, there must be Jamaican maybe. Or
some. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who the hell Jah is.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Lord ain't spoke to them.
Right.
They're gonna tell you up and down. The Lord spoke to me, and how can you prove it otherwise? Because they know some scriptures. They know a couple of precepts that match up with each other. So it's got to be true, because who would lie? Who would lie on God? Who would lie on the word of God?
Or Jah, or Yah.
Right. Or Yah.
Right.
Or Yahuwah, or Jehovah. You know what I'm saying? Like, who would lie on that, right? In the Most High name. Who would be that arrogant to lie on the Most High name, to take advantage of His people? Right. Who would do such a thing? Couldn't be no upstanding citizen and reformed criminal, swearing that they change their ways. Like people, how would I say this? To be gentle to somebody's sensitive mentality. Y'all bullshitting.
Right.
You're flat out bullshitting. And everybody else around y'all is too afraid to press you on them issues, because you say that you're teaching the word of God, you're reading the scripture, you know a couple precepts and how to match them up. So nobody ever wants to question that. Nobody ever wants to press that issue with you. A lot of clubhouse groups and the leaders on in their chat groups, because you got some other people that agree with you. And because you know a couple scriptures. How dare anybody speak against you? Right. Because I mean, you're teaching the word of God as you know it, and because you don't believe that anybody could have the 100% truth, so what you got to be saying has to be some kind of truth because of how it gets dishonest gains, divining lies unto them when the Lord had not spoken. Used oppression, you're exercising robbery, you're vexing the poor and the needy for dishonest gain, to big yourself up, to make you feel better about whatever you lacking in life. That's why it's such a righteous thing to start off in the ranks of the UPK. Be a student, no sweat. Be a trooper. Put on all black. You know, get the gears into motion. Get raised up to take your officer's test. Take that test. Pass that test no matter how many times it takes you. Be diligent in this work. Become an officer.
That's right.
Grow your rank up from there. Say kind out of one kind. The nigga's half your age. and be proud of it. Because you know where you're coming from. And you know you're not being taken advantage of, and you're not taking advantage of the people. This is not what's promoted here. Okay?
They use that precept, money is the root of all evil.
The love of money.
The love of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah, you absolutely could. That definitely applies to this. It's not just like I've always hated the concept of money. Part of that could just be because I've been broke the majority of my life. So who cares about it? You know, it's a devil's tool. But it's the love of money that's the root of all evil. We've survived as a nation because of off monetary trade and services and things like that. Good.
And say you pierce yourself with many sorrows, like you said.
Pull that scripture if you can.
So if you can't find it right away, you can always look in your phone.
It's a like you.
Go ahead.
Okay, like Reverend Wolf did pray. He said, blood and do destroy souls to get this honest gain.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Definitely fits in there. And
sometimes people do that to get that dishonor, can't be so degraded, and you reap so well, it don't really destroy them. Some people commit suicide by all that stuff too. And
they'll get all that dishonest gain. They'll get all that wealth and this, that, just to kill themselves because of the guilt. But at the time, that instant gratification, because they got a lust for the money, for the whores, for the drugs, for the respect of persons. That like for a lot of them, it's just the ego trip. They might not even be making any money off of it, and then they're going to say that too. They're going to use that too. They're not making any money off of it, so like, why should they lie about it? You're getting the love from the people that you beguile, so you feel puffed up. You feel better about whatever other ordeal you might be experiencing in life. So now, and again, so you're oppressing a stranger wrongfully. In this case, we're talking about brothers. We're talking about brothers and sisters of being that stranger. People that are disconnected, trying to find a way back home. Again, the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So now verse 30. And I sought for a man among them that should make up the hedge. It's like that should make up the hedge and stand in the gap before me for the land, that I should not destroy it. But I found none. So like the Most High was looking for, for somebody to be a champion for the people, to stand up for the people. And it wasn't this man. That's mine. And he wasn't finding them. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't, nobody was reciprocating. Nobody was understanding the assignment and fulfilling that, their duties. So now, like, I mean, we're gonna end up getting glossed over, just like when Abraham was Abraham was contending with the Most High to to save his what was that? His nephew. His nephew was a cousin Lot. Nephew.
His brother, his nephew.
The Most High was looking at that city, Sodom and Gomorrah, them twin cities, coincidentally enough, to find any righteousness in there. Otherwise, he was going to lay it all out. He was going to put it all away.
Right.
So now, Abraham, he was like, listen, man, can we find one? Like, if there's one person, could you spare? Could you at least spare them? Mm-hmm. Now, again, the Most High, verse 30, and I sought for a man among them. So among all these people that are violating the law, profane the holy things, all these princes in the midst thereof that are like wolves ravening on the prey, prophets daubing them with untempered mortar, something that ain't solid.
Right.
Something that ain't solid. Something that ain't gonna stick together. Something that ain't gonna sustain and be stable for the people. He's looking for a man that ain't divining lies, that ain't vain, that is actually hearing the word of the Most High, and not just soothsaying people, and that ain't looking for dishonest gain, that ain't oppressing a stranger, that ain't exercising robbery, that ain't got holding the land in oppression over the people. You know what I'm saying? He's looking for that man. And over here, like, he ain't finding it. It'd be a hard thing, like, just on a broad scope, like, how many of us in the Twin Cities right now, how many of us are there? If you were to look from afar at Minnesota, at Minneapolis and St. Paul, you'd be like, man, ain't nobody there. Ain't nobody there. You'd have to take a closer look to try to hone in on them couple of brothers that are standing up. And now we gonna say that openly too. Like it ain't no secret. ISUPK is home of the truth. Mm-hmm. The 100% unadulterated truth. But what good can come out of Nazareth? What good can come out of Minneapolis and St. Paul?
Right.
We trying to show the Lord, save this city.
Right.
Save these brothers, save these sisters. Give us, Salakia. Lord, allow tonight it'll be over.
Right.
And it'll crack that sky open. But until then, give us some time. Let us keep working. Give us this opportunity to keep on fishing, to keep on trying to build, to keep on trying to heal this. Mm-hmm. Verse 31. Therefore have I poured out mine indignation upon them. I have consumed them with the fire of my wrath. Their own way have I recompensed upon their heads, saith the Lord God. So them same devices that we would use to get over on each other is going to get played against us. So now you think that by shucking and jiving for Esau or for Elam or for Moab, that and for Ham at that matter, that you're going to get some kind of reward, like long term, you know what I'm saying? That you're going to be saved, that you're going to be recognized. Mm-hmm. That's all going to get used against you and to destroy you.
Right. Because
you've been a wolf ravening on the prey. You've been divining lies. You know what I'm saying? You vex the poor and needy. You oppress the stranger. But because maybe you got some financial, wealth, or you got a bunch of followers on social media to boost your ego,
right?
And you think you're doing something good. Well, you're gonna get destroyed for that. And all those methods that you thought that you were doing good with, I mean, that's gonna be used against you. You're gonna get shamed on social media. That same platform that you try to boast yourself up on, you're gonna get destroyed on that.
Right.
You're gonna get exposed. Everybody's gonna find out that you were fake and you were fraud. And your whole life your reputation is gonna get dragged through the mud. Mm-hmm. Them souls that you destroyed, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody that followed you, that supported you, like you're gonna lead them into destruction. Mm-hmm. And now that burden is gonna be on you.
Right.
all your family, all your friends, everybody that showed you that respect and love that you took advantage of financially, morally, for whatever resources they might have been able to offer you. All that's it's gonna get turned against you, and you're gonna be held accountable. Like we keep on saying, man, you do not want to be the one that the Lord has to come holler at for misleading His people.
Right.
You don't want to be that guy.
Right.
Keep your nose clean. Follow suit, man. Get in line. Get in the class. At least Zephaniah 2:1. Gather together and let's start talking about it. And don't be so sensitive and so damn afraid to have these questions posed against you. We don't shy away from that. We could be completely full of shit. Salaki for the language. We could be completely full of it. We will take any and all questions. We will answer any and all questions. You can be arrogant if you want to step to the stage, on Clubhouse, on Facebook, on YouTube, and Cross the Line Radio. No sweat. We accept any and all challenges.
That's right.
Any and all smoke. I don't even smoke no more. We want all the smoke.
Right.
Yeah.
We want everything.
That's right.
Because there needs to be a clear division between the truth and the lie. And there's, hold your point for 1 second now. There's going to be a clear division at the end of the day. That's something else. Again, a lot of people are trying to account themselves as that 1/3. Like how do you know? Are we at the end? Are we in the kingdom yet, yo? Like, did I miss something?
No.
Are we there? We ain't there yet. How the hell do you know if you're the 1/3 or not?
Right.
We're not at that point. Like, these are very dangerous philosophies that people are teaching, and very dangerous and poor and misguided messages that they're trying to spread.
Right.
You're gonna be consumed with the fire of the Most High's wrath, and your way is gonna be recompensed on your head, man. That could go for us too. Hell, again, we might be wrong. We might be completely off. And that same judgment could be held against us. You're going to know them by their works, though. You're going to know them by their fruits.
That's right.
You're good.
Can you say that precept? Can you just say, beware of false prophets that come to you in sheep clothing?
Absolutely.
Right. You might know them by their
Absolutely.
fruit.
Absolutely. And that's pretty much exactly what this is echoing, that same sentiment. Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's plenty of because there's monetary gain in this game. Like, now it's a game.
Yeah.
Again, but just like the Sadducees and the Pharisees and the scribes, they capitalized off it too. And they were looked at, they were held in such high regard and in such esteem by the public for their gay apparel and for their wise words and all this wisdom that they had and authority that they had being from a bloodline. Because again, we're talking about the tribe of Levi too, and Benjamin and Judah that was out there. We're talking about actual Israelites, bloodline Israelites that still held the customs. I can't say held the customs of our forefathers from like the Mosaic kind of era,
right?
But brothers that held the name, that held the title.
Right.
They changed the customs though to fit the captivity, to fit their oppressors, and to still have governance over the people. Things got manipulated, got distorted. Again, they were divining lies, and they were robbing people. Salaki.
No, you good word. No, you good. That was it on that?
That was the end of 30 months.
Give him a hand. Somebody ready to go to camp?
Well, that's good.
Yeah, all right. All right, with that being said.
Magum, can you stand? Upon Yaakov, turn to face the east. Say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. You can find it in Matthew chapter 6, verses 8 through 13. Nabanaw, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawat, Hayah, Bashaman, Latundanaw, Lakam, Ko, Yawam, Wasalakanaw, Kabawathanaw, Kasalaknaw, Kabawathanaw, Wala, Tabiyanaw, Panasawam, Kabal, Oshanaw, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wa'al, Watapara, Laulam, Aman.
In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts, as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Amen.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha, Ayanya, Ahahari, Mayan, Yabaa, Azari, Ma'ain, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemai, Barataza, Al-Yathan, Lamawat, Ragalka, Al-Yanawam, Shamak, Ana, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasha'al, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazolka, Al-Yad, Yamyunka, Yashlaki, Yawamam, Hashemash, La'a, Yakaka, Wa'arak, Layala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Yashlaki, Makarai, Yashamar, Athanapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'atka, Wabawaka, Maita, Wai, Aulam.
In English, I will lift up mine eyes. Unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'Allah shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out, and thy coming in. In this time forth, and even forevermore.
Prayer for the cock, the power and evil. Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Babu Kishai. The thunder now. The cock. La Rafa'ah. Call Makalah. Call Marawat. The cock. La Tahar. Hamad Azari. The cock. La Hakim. Hamathim. The cock. Al Rakawat. Hakamal. The Garshan. Bashim Yahushai. Tuadama.
Power in the English, Yahweh. The name Yahushai. Please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the leper. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. The name Yahushai. Thank you.
So be it. Pray to bless Israel in Hebrew. Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Rakanaw. Wayasha'Allah. Wahabayah. Sapari. Barak. Rafa'ah. Magun. Hagun. At this time, it's like just to save time. It's like just to save time, all of Israel. It's like Israelite School UPK. All of Israel. Bashim Yahushai. Tuadama.
In English, Lord, in the name of Yahushai. Bless us in Yasha'Allah. In the school. Bless Hill should protect. Love them. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you.
So be it. Psalms 83 in Hebrew. Allahayim. Al Damiyah Lakah. Al Takharash. Al Tashkwat. Kiyahna,
Kiyahana,
Wabika,
Awabika,
Yahami
Yahamni
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Alamaka,
Maka,
Yaruyamu,
Yarayamu,
Sawaz,
Sawada,
Wayata Yatazwa,
Wayata Tazwa,
Altazwa Banyika,
out of the pump,
Kamawa,
Amar,
Lakawa,
Lakawa,
Malikakidam,
Lakakidam,
Magalia,
Magalia,
Wala Yazakar,
Wala Ayas Ko,
Shamya Shala,
Shamya Shala,
Awar,
Iwada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nawatazwa,
Nawa Tazwa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakarwa,
Yakad,
Aryaka,
Aryat,
Baryak,
Varyat,
Yakurat,
Yakarat,
Ahalia,
Ahoy,
Arwam,
Adamum,
Waya Shemai Aliyam,
Wayashma Alayam,
Mawaba,
Mu'ab,
Wagaria,
Gard,
Kabal,
Kabor,
Wamwan,
Wamu,
Wamalak,
Amalak,
Palashat,
Alashat,
Amishabia,
Abishabi,
Tazwar,
Tazawu,
Gamashawa,
Amashu,
Nalwa,
Alawa,
Imam,
Imam,
Haywa,
Hayawa,
Zarwa,
Zarawa,
Banyalawa,
Vanyalawa,
Salah,
Salah,
Ashar Laham,
Ashalaham,
Kamadian,
Madi,
Kasiyah Sara'ah,
Kasaya Sara'a,
Kayabian,
Yabi,
Banachol,
Manako,
Kuyashwan,
Kiyashwan,
Nashamaru,
Nashama,
Bayan Dar,
Wayanda Ar,
Haywa,
Tayawa,
Daman,
Daman,
Ladam,
Ladam,
Shatamu,
Shatam,
Narayamawa,
Narayama,
Karab,
Karab,
Wakazabu,
Saab,
Wakazabak,
Kazabak,
Wakazomana,
Katzomana,
Kol Nasayagam,
Kona Sakam,
Asar,
Asho,
Amar,
Amar,
Nairashah,
Narisha,
Lanawa,
Lanawa,
Ah, Nawa,
Nawa,
Alai,
Alahai,
Alaya,
Alahaya,
Shatamu,
Shatam,
Kagogla,
Gogla,
Kakwash,
Quash,
Lapanya Rauka,
Panyaraka,
Kaash,
Kaash,
Tabari Yair,
Viria Ider,
Bakalaba,
Wahala,
Talahat,
Alahat,
Haryam,
Ariam,
Kanthar Dak,
Kandar Thak,
Basaraka,
Saraka,
Wabasu Wapaka,
Basu Patka,
Tabalam,
Talaham,
Mala'a,
Mala'a,
Panyam,
Panyam,
Palawan,
Palawan,
Wayabakwash,
Wabakwash,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahaw,
Yahaw,
Yabashu,
Bash,
Wayabahaw,
Wabahal,
Adi Ai,
Adi,
Wayakapaw,
Wayakapal,
Wayabarwa,
Wayabab,
Wayadaiwa,
Wayataiwa,
Kayata,
Kayata,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahaw,
Yahaw,
Labarka,
Bat,
Ayuwan,
Ayawan,
Aw,
Call,
Aratazah.
Saratza. In English, give not thy silence.
Keep not thy silence.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Not thy peace.
And be not still.
Be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo,
For lo,
thy enemies make a tumult.
thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee.
And they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
lifted up the head.
That take a crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel
Against thy people.
against thy people.
And consult against thy hidden ones.
Consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
let's cut them off from being a nation.
let's cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Yasha'Allah
That the name of Yahshua
may be no more remembered.
may be no more remembrance.
They have consulted together with one consent.
But if consulted together with one consent,
They are confederate against thee.
thou confederate against
The
us.
tabernacles of Edom.
Tabernacles of
And
Edom.
the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Moab.
Moab.
The Hagarenes.
And the Garites.
Cabal.
Gabal.
And Ammon.
And Ammon.
Amalek.
And Ammon.
The Philistines, the inhabitants of
The
Tyre.
Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Ashur also joined with
The
them.
swords also joined with
They
them.
have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Unto them as to the Midianites.
You want to them is unto the
As the
Midianites.
Sisera.
As the sister.
As the Jabin.
As Jabin.
At the brook of
At the
Kisan.
brook
Which
Son.
prayers that endured.
Prepares to them
They became as dung for the earth.
that became as dung for the earth.
Make the nobles like a rib.
Make the nobles like a
And
rib.
like Zeed.
Like Zed.
Yea.
Yea.
Are the princes as a Ba.
All the princes of Ba.
And as a moon.
And as the
Who
moon.
said,
We said,
let's take to ourselves
let's take to
the
ourselves
houses of Yahweh in possession.
the house of Yahweh in possession.
On my power.
On my power.
Make it like a wheel.
Make them like a
As
wheel.
a stubble before the wind.
As a stubble before the wind.
As the fire burneth the
As
wood.
the fire burns the wood.
As the flame set the mountains on fire.
As the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy
So
tempest.
persecute them with thy
And make
tempest.
them afraid with thy
Make
storm.
them afraid with thy storm.
Put their faces with shame.
Put the face with
And
shame.
then they seek thy
They
name.
might seek thy name.
O Lord.
O Lord.
Let it be confounded in trouble forever.
Let it be confounded in trouble forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let it be put to shame and
Let
perish.
it be put to shame and perish.
That men may know that thou,
That men may know that thou,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
art the most high over all the earth.
art the most high of all the earth.
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and
King of
earth,
heaven and earth,
and all things living.
and all things live.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
your name Yahweh
name
Shai.
Yahweh Shah.
Listen to us now,
Listen to us now,
right now.
right now.
To you is a curse,
To me is a curse.
punishment, destruction,
Punishment and
to
destruction
the heathen
to the heathen
that speak against
that speak
us.
against
Thy
us.
prophets,
Thy prophets,
the teachers,
teachers,
the princes,
princes,
the priests,
priests,
the Israelite brothers,
Israelite brothers,
in the school.
and the school.
To you is a curse,
To me is a curse.
punishment, destruction,
Punishment and
to the
destruction
heathen
to to the heathen,
and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel.
the treasure of the rich of Israel,
That refuse to give to the
that
school.
refuse to give to the school,
Force their riches.
force their riches,
Into thy sanctuary.
to thy sanctuary,
Use the curse.
and use the curses,
Punishment and destruction.
punishment and
To
destruction,
the Edomites.
to the Edomites,
And the nations.
and the nations,
And the drug
the
dealers.
drug
The
dealers,
court system.
court
The
system,
prison system.
prison system,
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood,
All the governments of our enemies.
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalekites, synagogues, and armies.
Amalekites, synagogues, and armies,
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church,
The Pope.
Pope,
Islam.
Islam,
Christianity.
Christianity,
Egyptology.
Egyptology,
Militia.
militia,
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan,
Aryan Nation.
every nation,
Skinheads.
skinheads,
Cosmopolitan.
cosmopolitan,
The gay movement.
gay
The
movement,
lesbian.
lesbians,
Spies.
spies,
Works of witchcraft.
works of
That's
witchcraft,
space program.
that's the space program, army,
Navy.
Navy,
Air Force.
Air Force,
Marines.
Marines,
Wall Street.
Wall Street,
Open up the internet.
open up the internet,
And airways.
and airways,
Cable access
cable
channels.
access
And
channels,
radio channels.
radio channels,
Convict the spirit of any of thy people.
convict the spirit of any of thy people
That seek to stop
that
us.
seek to stop us,
Bring swift destruction.
bring swift
To
destruction
all the evil.
to all the
That
heathen
stand in the way.
that stand in the way,
Or try to stop
or
us.
try to stop us,
Broadcast your word.
broadcasting the word
Throughout the planet
throughout the
Earth.
planet Earth,
Let loose all the
let
places.
us all the places,
Cause it to go to and
cause
fro.
we go to and fro,
Through the earth and consume
through the
it.
earth and consume it.
Let the place hit the house of the thief.
Let the place take the house of the thief
And the murder.
and the murder.
Let Yahweh shot.
Yahweh shot.
Michael and Gabriel.
Michael and Gabriel,
Now flying
down
saucers.
flying saucers,
Punish all the evil.
punish all the
That
heathens
come up against
that
us.
come up against
As we
us,
speak thy
as we
word.
speak thy word,
Cause we know by all.
cause we know by all,
It's the angels that have done.
it's the angels that have done,
Cause it to spread through the media.
cause it to spread through the media,
Throughout the whole
throughout
world.
the whole world,
Cause them to shake at that
cause
come.
the shake of that
In
come.
the name of Yahweh
And
Shai.
Yahweh shot,
Thank you always.
thank you always,
So be it.
so be it.
All right, now we good.
Come.
All right, that's good. All right. Actually, yeah, first. Yeah, no, that's fine. It's the water. Yahweh Hashem Shai Barak Yah.
Yahweh Shimi Osabrak Yah.
Side.
Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Barak Yah. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahusha, Barak
Yah.
Yah.
Damn right.
All right. That concludes the Sabbath service. Shalom, Israel.